The purpose of this video module is to demonstrate how to start a project. Before we start, I would like to point out that we are at asurecalc.com and not in the software. You cannot add a project in the software. You have to go to the web. When you log in, you will automatically be taken to the Start Project page. Enter the homeowner's name and address. Enter the address with spaces, not punctuation. And right here we have the word street. And I would like to point out that if it's place, if it's circle, if it's drive, if it's avenue, that needs to be very specific there. Now, in some rare instances, the word north means direction, and you can use the word N for north and S for south and so forth. However, there are some streets like North Wind, and it's not North Direction Wind Street, it's North Wind in two words. And so be very careful how you enter addresses, because sometimes that affects the address and image that you will get. Next, we will click on Search. I want to point out, it asked me, did you mean 1221 Southwest 117th Street, Oklahoma City? Notice that there's punctuation now, and everything is capitalized, and we even have the complete zip. And if this is the correct address, then click on it. Notice now that everything is filled in correctly, and it saved you just a little bit of time to type that. Zoom in and take a look at the house. I want you to notice this red balloon. You can left click and actually move this balloon around to the correct house if you need to. Now I want to point out, and these are two very important points, that if this red balloon appears on a house, there's a high chance that this is the correct house and the address, even though you've never been there. However, the red balloon is not the end key to the correct house. A yellow cross is, and we will see that yellow cross in a moment. If this red balloon is in the street and you know the correct house, click on that balloon and move it to the house. However, if the red balloon is in the street and you do not know what the house looks like, don't worry about that. Go ahead and click Save My Project. Now, in most cases, you will not see this screen because you will probably be entering an address for the first time. But I use this address as a demo, and I have diagrammed this. So notice that the image is available, and you can even buy the diagram already. However, in most cases, if you get this screen and you don't want the project, click on Skip this step, and you will see the screen that you will normally see when you click on an address the first time. Now notice the yellow cross. It is on the roof of the house. If that yellow cross were right here in the yard or just a little bit in the back of the yard, there is a 95% or greater chance that this is the correct address and the correct house, even if you've never seen it before. If that yellow cross is in the street, though, you need to verify by going to the house and then diagramming later. I know sometimes you want to diagram the house before you go, but if that yellow cross is in the street, then you're going to have to call the homeowner and get more information. You generally will talk to the homeowner anyway, but get more information. For example, the driveway's on the left. There's two hips on the front. There's a shed in the back. There's a tree, two trees in the front, and sometimes that might help you verify the house. But if that yellow cross is there, there's a very good chance, a high probability you're at the correct house, even though you've never been there. Now, sometimes your image and your picture will look like this, and I want to point out that at the bottom you have three choices. If this part of this roof were cut off for some reason, it's a very large house, and part of this roof is cut off, you may want to click 600 by 600, and notice that it will give you a larger area. Not a better resolution, just a larger area. If you have commercial, small commercial, or a house on a 5-acre lot, you may want to click 1024 by 1024. And if you are going to a large commercial project like apartments or warehouses, you may want to enter 2000 by 2000 before you ever start at the very beginning if you know it's large commercial. I'm going to go ahead and move back to 400 by 400. Now, I would like to point out that by clicking Search and by Save Project from the other screens, you have not paid or lost any image credits yet. Notice that I have 138 credits. Now, if I feel like that I have the house, the yellow cross is on the house, or I know I've been to the house and I know that I have the correct house, then I'm going to click Save Image to my project. Once you click here, you've paid for it, but you have ample opportunities to verify the correct house before you pay for it. So now I'm going to click Save to my projects. Don't worry about the lines at the top, just go ahead and click OK. Notice that we've gone to my projects list. Notice that it charged me 1 credit, and I now have 137 credits. Notice Robert Brown, 1221 Southwest 117th Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. All right. Also notice that right here you can print you a scope sheet if you need to go with this image. Now, the next step is you may return to start projects and add another address or 2 or 3 or 4. Then you are ready to minimize this screen and go to the software. Double click on the AssureCalc icon and this screen appears. Notice that Robert Brown on Southwest 117th Street appears in the software projects list. In the next section, we will demonstrate how to open and diagram this project.